Hey guys, this is Chris, your comic book intellect P. Sorry it's been a little bit, but I've been looking for some new comics and seeing what I could find. I got a decent little haul, and I've actually found some that I had on my 2019 want list. And before I get going, I know it's going to be kind of a little hard to see, but my daughter had got me a gift. And I'm going to lower it through. And hopefully y'all will be able to see. Sorry if there's a little bit of a glare there. But a very cool print of the Avengers 118 cover. But what I really like about it, let's see if I can get it here. Stan Lee signed and the tag showing that it is the real deal. She even has pictures of him signing. So let me shut one of those doors and get some of that glare out of there. Hopefully that'll help. But that was one of the coolest little gifts I've got. I absolutely love it, and just wanted to give her a shout out for getting her dad that little gift. So what I've done is I've over the last few months, I've been on the look for some key issues and just issues that I would like to get for my collection in 2019. I have just a few of them, so let's see if we can get through them fairly quick for you. And we'll start out with the first one. Let me turn it around for you. And it was the Tim Bradstreet Punisher #1. I love this guy's art. I don't think anybody has a style quite like his. There's a waiting list to get him to do covers. So you know he's just good at what he does. There's detail in everything. There's no wasted space. Nothing is unimportant on that cover. And just a very striking cover, and I really do like this. So let's go off to the second one. And that would be, here we go. This was one of my wanted to gets of 2019. Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. Just a great cover. You see part of his team, some of the soldiers, him holding the flag. Of course, he's got to have the big gun. Just all in all, a great cover. And it was one that I wanted to get for 2019. Now, it's not a big, major key. A lot of people like it. I liked it. Let me think. Jim Steranko had done the cover on this one. So just a really, really nice cover. Always appreciated it, and I wanted it. So let's move on to the next one. Now the next one, y'all may giggle at me a little bit for it, but let me give you a little bit of context to this. When I was growing up and I was little, cable just started and we had the Superstation. And on the Superstation on Saturday, they did 3 things. They did Georgia Championship Wrestling, and then they did Westerns and Godzilla movies. And I became a big fan of the Godzilla movie. Which in turn, when I started collecting comic books, I got a few Godzilla comics. But I never really got into them because I was just more of a movie fan of the Godzilla. Now this is an Alberto Ponticelli. Okay, you forgive the pronunciation, I know this. But this is Godzilla, Gangsters, and Goliaths #2. I've got all 4, but I really do like this cover because it does have Godzilla, it has Mothra. Now, the inside work is gorgeous. If you've never seen this, it's a very, I'm going to say almost hyper-real, but it really works. The monsters are gorgeous. In this book, you see more of Mothra than Godzilla. I think there's a single panel shot of Godzilla, but that's okay. But this cover, I really like it. I wanted to have it and just add it to my collection. And I think this is going to go on the wall. I have started my work to get my man cave going and up, so we're going to see what happens. Now, here's a key that I wanted for, I didn't really put it on my 2019 list, but it's one that I always wanted to get. So when I found this, and I found it at a really decent deal, I went ahead and got it. Again, another Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is number 15, and this is the first appearance of Bullseye. Now you look at him and go, yeah, he has changed a little bit. Yeah, he has. But this was a really good story, really good book. The cover, you know, you're looking and the first thing you think is, oh my gosh, he's bleeding out of his chest. Then you had to really look at it and you just see kind of his tie. But again, a really, really good book. I always wanted to get this one because I was a fan of Bullseye. I think, you know, what they've done with him in Daredevil is fantastic. Kind of an iconic bad guy. So I saw it, saw the price, and was like, yeah, this one's going to go in my collection. So now let's move on to the next one. More recent comic. But I hadn't been able to find it that much. But when I was out of town, I found 3 copies, and I needed to snatch them up, so I got all 3. Not really expensive, but Angela in Spawn number 9. Everybody knows the deal with Spawn and this character and what happened with Marvel and where she ended up. So I'm pretty sure I don't need to really talk about it. This is a McFarlane cover. Fantastic artwork at the time. And I really liked her as a character. So when I saw those 3, I was like, yeah, I can pick that up, and I might send some of them off and get them slabbed and then maybe put them on the market. I don't know yet. I feel that's what I'll probably do, but we'll see. So let's move on. And that was probably the newest book that I've bought in this. Most everything that I got was Silver Age, maybe a couple in the 80s. Now here's the next one I have. Was very happy to get this one. Marvel Tales number 98. It's the retelling of the death of Gwen Stacy. Now, Gwen Stacy is on my list that I want to get. But right now, can't really find it. Can't find any good deals on it. So this one is just as good. Well, I'm not going to say just as good, but I really, really like it anyway. This is a John Romita cover, and like I said, it's the retelling of Gwen Stacy's death. Very good book. Love the cover art. And John Romita he was great. And John Romita Jr. is he's following right along. So now let's move on. Again, great colors. I love how the yellow, and around the edges, it has that orangey yellow. It just adds a little bit to it. If y'all think y'all like that book, go ahead and pick it up. Now, this one was an 80s book, and it was a book that I collected in the 80s. I really liked it. A lot of people, I don't know why it wasn't as big as it was, but, you know, again, just my preference. All-Star Squadron, number 23. Jerry Ordway did the artwork. This was the first appearance of Amazing Man, who I think is a great character, and I think DC could do so much more with him if they worked at it and gave it a shot. But we'll see. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I just really like this cover, as his cape is taking up a lot of the space. The color of his outfit, I really liked it. The green and the yellows. And this cover is just, kind of striking to me. I like it. So this was this one. So let's move on. Now, this one was one that I did want. It was a key for 2009. Well, I'm not going to say a key, but it is a key to me. And I wanted it in 2019, and I was able to get a hold of it. West Coast Avengers number 45, the first colorless Vision. A lot of people say the white Vision, colorless Vision. whatever you want. It's just a damn cool cover. Basically a redo of his original intro from the Avengers, but they just reimagined it, reworked it, put it on the West Coast Avenger cover, and it's just a great cover. John, Brian and Michael McLean, I think, did these two. Again, a pretty cool cover. The different darks from the bottom to the top. The West Coast Avengers in the yellow and the red, orange. And then the Vision, okay. But the Vision, then you have Wonder Man, Hank Pym, the Wasp, Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye down at the bottom trying to figure out what's up. In my opinion, a really, really good cover, and I do like it. Now, the next one was a definite get on my list of 2019, and I actually got this at a very good deal, and it's not in that bad of a shape. So let me throw it up here. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man number 6. This is when Harry Osborn is doing drugs. Stan Lee wanted to do this story, put it in, and the comics code was like, no, you cannot do this. So if you notice, and I know a lot of people, if you follow comic books, you'll know this, but up in this corner here, there is no comic code seal. Stan Lee went ahead and goes, no, this is a story that needs to be told. It's a good anti-drug story. But the code was like, well, it's about drugs. We don't want it put out there. But he put it out there without the comic code seal on there. And a really good story. And it had a good meaning to it. Why they didn't want it to be in there just because it had the word drug in it is beyond me. But I think Stan made the right call here. Very good book. And I wanted it for 2019. And I got it. So I was very happy. So now moving on. A little bit more lighthearted. But I saw this one. Wasn't on my list for 2019, but when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I've got to get this. Temple of the Gods, Masters of the Universe, number 1 of 3. And I do believe, if anybody knows better than I do, please tell me. But other than the small comics that would come with the toys and you could get when the toy line was starting out, this is his first big shot into the world of comic books. And so it was really, really worth me getting. I was a Masters of the Universe fan, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, and I was kind of a G.I. Joe Transformer guy, but I really did like Thundercats and He-Man too. So when I saw that, that's why I had to get that. And George Tuska, I think is how you pronounce his name. Please tell me if I'm wrong. He did the cover work here, and I love Castle Grayskull in the back. The very bright Masters of the Universe coming out of nowhere. You see the trail. Good guys, bad guys. The oranges, the blues, the yellows. Everything is showing really, really well, and it pops. And for an older comic book, this is in really, really good shape. I may go and get this graded, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided. So let's move on to the next one. Now this one... kind of a rarity, maybe. Anybody that knows better, please tell me. But this was Worlds Collide, Rift Between Worlds. It was a DC comic, number 1. It had stickers, and it was sealed in a bag. Now, this one is still sealed in the bag. I have it put in one of my bags, but if you do look, it is still sealed. And all of the stickers are still there, showing, and it's in very, very good shape. Tried to look up some information on this, and I could not find who did the artwork on it. Let me put it back in the bag. But I couldn't find who did the artwork, who worked with it. Even how long it was. If it's a one-shot, I need to get in and, work's kind of been holding me up on this. I just recently got this just a few days ago, and I thought I'd throw it in. But Really, really neat book. And if any of y'all know any information on it, send it my way. Let me know. So now let's move on to the next one. And this one also, I will say, was one of my gets for 2019. It's kind of a smaller key, but it is a key for me. It's the first Silver Age of the Leader, the Incredible Hulk 115. Dan Atkins did the cover on this. And again, the explosions, the oranges, the yellows, the blacks at the top, then the Leader dominating this cover. Not often you can say that a villain dominated over the Hulk on the cover. But here you go. Not in the greatest of shape. It has some nicks to it. I may want to upgrade it later on, but right now I am very happy to have this book. Always been a fan of the Leader. He is one of my favorite Incredible Hulk bad guys. And so now we will move on to the next one. And this one I'm going to say is just a key for me, if nothing else. It's the Defenders number 32. A lot of y'all will go, well, what's so big about the Defenders number 32? Well, Jim Mooney did the cover, and it has Nighthawk's origin in it. It's a good book, but that's not what really got me wanting this book. A very lesser-known bad guy called Ruby Thursday. She's a scientist, and she replaces her head with basically this plastic dome computer and downloads her thoughts and thinking into this computer. And it can shoot out weaponry, kind of give her a shield. I've always liked Ruby Thursday. When I saw this book, I was like, yeah, I've got to get it. So yeah, this is a key for me. Now, these last four, I'm going to say, I've always heard of people going, I got these at such an incredible deal. I can't believe I did this. These next four books, I'm not going to give the exact price on it, but these four books together, I paid less than $100 for, and all four of them are in fantastic shape. Now the first one, this was one I did, and all of these were on my list of 2019. This first one, not as much, because I want the other one. This is Aquaman number 42. This is the second ever appearance of Black Manta. Now, if I am not mistaken, the first appearance of Black Manta is Aquaman 25. But Jim Aparo did the cover on this, and I love this cover. The title going in the dark blues with the greens on the left and the right and the upper, and then just the spotlight coming down showing Black Manta just doing his thing, and the name at the bottom. I mean, these reds going into the oranges, into the bright yellows with the bubble traces. It is just a striking cover, and well worth to get. Like I said, second appearance of Black Manta, and as we all know, with the Aquaman movie that's came out, he is still a hot commodity, and I was able to get this. Like I said, the price that I said, I'm not going to give the exact price, but these four comics, like I said, I'm amazed. So let's move on to the next one. And this is one that was definitely on my want to get of 2019. It is Batman number 258. Not only is this cover fantastic with the glass that have been shattered and the spider web of the glass, very first appearance of Killer Croc. Love Killer Croc as a bad guy. He was even really good in the Suicide Squad. Now Kirkshaw or Sean, S-W-A-N, Swan. He had did the cover work on this, and it's just a great cover. I really, really like it. Like I said, I do like Killer Croc. The bat signal, the yellows and the blues behind the glass that has been shattered. Great, fantastic book. Now the last two are the ones that make me very, very, very happy. Like I said, these four I got at an amazing deal. This one is, the title always gets me tickled. Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane. It should have just been Lois Lane, in my opinion. This is number 106. This is where Superman changes Lois Lane into a black lady so she can go and get a good news story from the black community in Metropolis. And Rose and Thorn is in this as well. Kind of a minor story in the whole thing, but that's okay. Now the thing is, at the end of this book, Lois is done. She comes back and basically asks Superman, you know, would you still take me if I stayed black? And Superman does not answer. Now, granted, yes, I know this is a sign of the times, but, you know, kind of a move for the Man of Steel. But this is a great cover. I wanted it. Has a little bit of a wrinkle up at the top at the comic code, but fantastic shape. I will probably send this off, and it'll probably come back as maybe an 8 because the pages are really white, but the little nick up here at the top I think is gonna hold it back a little bit. Now for the one and the last one that made all this worth it for me, and was so thrilled to find this. And like I said, all four of these less than $100, and this is in fantastic shape. Batman number 260, the 100-page little book, had a few stories in it, but Joker with the cards. Iconic cover. Fantastic. The oranges, the pink, the 3 different panels, Riddler and Robin outside, the Joker, which you cannot beat this cover. This was an absolute find for me, and I will take it all day long. This one will go and get graded. I'm keeping it. If I find another one, you know, maybe I will put it out there, but we'll see. But right now, this amazed me that, you know, these four I was able to get, like I said, for, you know, under $100. I mean, and if I actually gave you all the price of what I did spend on this, it would very much shock you. But guys, this was the haul. These are 4 of my 2019s that I want to get. I'm going to find some more. I'll throw another video out later. Now guys, just if you enjoy it, just leave a comment. If not, just you know, just tell people how silly it is. Maybe they'll watch it too. So we'll see about that, right? And until next time, I will catch y'all later. And let's all just keep reading some books.